Top 5 Creepiest Things About Jeffrey Dahmer. He is appealing, intelligent, cryptic, and ruthless. More than 30 years after his horrifying murders were made public, serial murderer Jeffrey Dahmer is once more all over the news. Hold on, as we are going to reveal some of the creepiest things about Jeffrey Dahmer that you should know. The notorious American serial murderer, Jeffrey "Jeff" Dahmer, often known by the moniker the Milwaukee Monster, the Milwaukee Cannibal, and other horrifying aliases, also left a lasting legacy that exposed the nation's unfair justice system. Despite the fact that Dahmer's horrible actions made him a household figure in the United States, many people are still unaware of the serial killer's full history, including the identities of his victims and the methods he used to deceive Milwaukee's police force. Therefore, we're going to share the most frightening information about Jeffrey Dahmer. Hold on, and keep on watching till the end. Number 5. His fascination with death. The first child of Lionel and Joyce Dahmer, Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer was born on May 21, 1960, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. His younger brother was born 6 years later, making the family complete. His mother overdosed on drugs to try to commit suicide. Even though their family life seemed picture-perfect to others, his mother suffered from severe anxiety. The first-grade teacher of Dahmer stated in the report that she thought he was mistreated at home. He was always left alone in this chaotic household to care for himself and think for himself. Naturally, his sense of neglect impacted him. He was a quiet young man. He was used to keeping his emotions to himself. Nobody knew about his abandonment difficulties, since they were mixed with identity issues. In a 2004 CNN interview, Dahmer's father recalled how his son enjoyed dissecting animals. He was cited as stating, "Jeffrey sliced them open to look inside the animals." Number 4. Strongly influenced by his father. Anyone familiar with Dahmer's actions would not be surprised to learn that as a kid he maintained a collection of animal carcasses in his clubhouse. 4-year-old Dahmer started gathering animal bones because he was intrigued by how they would fit together. He slaughtered a lot of the animals by himself as well. To satisfy this child's interest, his scientific father, who was finding it difficult to connect with his estranged son, decided to teach how to actually clean, as well as preserve parts of animals. Lionel was working on an experiment that required making a hole in a frog's skull and injecting various liquids into the animal's brain to observe how it responded. The experiment's real goal was to demonstrate that an animal may maintain its life in a vegetative state, even after having practically all of its brain severely injured. As a result, Jeffrey grew captivated with animal dissections, their internal organs, and their bones as a result of learning this at a very young age. The unknowing parent at the time believed he was encouraging his kid to pursue his passion, which was taxidermy. However, Jeff eventually applied the talent to his victims rather than using them for good. Number 3. At the age of 18, he killed his first person. Some people buy their first drink to celebrate becoming 18 years old. Some people stay up too late partying, but Dahmer didn't want to mark his coming of age with such uninteresting pursuits. Instead, he went in for the kill, literally speaking. On June 18, 1978, he invited hitchhiker Stephen Hicks to his house for a drink. But when Hicks sensed a problem, he attempted to go, but Jeff wouldn't allow him. He didn't want to be alone any longer. So when Stephen protested, Jeff strangled and sledgehammered him to death. When Jeff killed Hicks, he became distraught and concealed the body beneath their house, where he and his father discovered the first roadkill. But Dahmer then dismembered the body. As a result of the human skeleton's moist inside, he also attempted to break Hicks' bones but was unable. He thus baked the bones in the oven until they were weak and readily broke. Then he dispersed the bone dust around his backyard. The investigators were able to retrieve over 500 fragments of bone more than a decade later. Number 2. School Fan Club. When it came to his academic career, Dahmer was a social outcast who frequently received little attention from the popular individuals in college. But one of Jeff's schoolmates claimed in his graphic novel about him, My Friend Dahmer, that Jeff got the school clown job for doin' a Dahmer. What is that? The Urban Dictionary states that doin' a Dahmer simply refers to playing a practical joke on someone. In class, Jeffrey frequently amused his peers by imitating people with autism. The term gained notoriety after appearing in Joel Norris's 1992 book, Jeffrey Dahmer. However, the significance of doin' a Dahmer drastically shifted once Dahmer was found guilty of the killings and decapitations of 17 young men. Number 1. The Twisted Zombie Experiment. On July 22, 1991, when Jeffrey Dahmer was eventually taken into custody by the authorities, they discovered human remains in practically every appliance in his flat. You know, Dahmer was dubbed the Milwaukee Cannibal for a reason. Jeff removed the internal organs from his victims after murdering and dismembering them. Then he ate the flesh off of their bones. The serial murderer said that he consumed his victims because it gave him the impression that they were a part of him. Following his arrest, the police examined Dahmer's home and discovered the internal organs of other people, as well as the headless body of Conorak Synthesymphone. In addition, they discovered many hydrochloric acid bottles, a huge canister in which Dahmer had melted human flesh, and numerous skulls. Jeff painted several of the skulls to make them resemble ancient objects. Prosecutors sought Dr. Frederick Fostel, a forensic psychiatrist, to evaluate Dahmer. He discovered that the serial murderer had performed lobotomies on several of the bodies of his victims, making holes in their heads and injecting fluid there. He gave them a muriatic acid injection while they were still alive to see if he could control them. He had wanted to manage them and keep them around longer by turning them into zombies. Several times Jeff was almost caught, but because of his calm demeanor, he was able to charm police. That's the end. I hope you enjoyed the video. Then give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and ring the notification bell button for more awesome videos just like this one. Do you think Jeff was mentally stable? We would love to hear your feedback. Feel free to mention anything that you know in the comments section. Thanks for watching.